Now, I don't know about you guys, but I think it is very safe to say that Star Wars under Kathleen Kennedy's leadership at Lucasfilm has been nothing more than an emotional roller coaster. There were a lot of moments where, in the past you thought Star Wars may have been onto something, with Rogue One, a Star Wars story, really being, in my opinion, the closest to George Lucas's Star Wars. Everything after that with the sequel trilogy and the spin-offs and many of the Disney Plus TV shows have really underperformed and fallen flat. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. And one thing about Kathleen Kennedy is that there's been a lot of problems happening behind the scenes. Now, we know that she has been wreaking havoc on a show called The Acolyte, which, by the way, is led by showrunner Leslie Headland, an individual that, by the way, despises George Lucas's Star Wars. Now, the main reasoning behind that controversy, before I get to the main subject, is that she really upped the budget of The Acolyte, wasted a lot of scenes for that actual show, and threw a lot of it in the trash, which cost Disney around $10 million alone for Kathleen Kennedy approving and just dissecting a lot of footage and throwing it to the wayside. Now, the latest has a lot to do with the AHSOKA ratings and what Kathleen Kennedy had to say about that, and why she's getting extremely defensive and seemingly angered over a lot of the trades, over a lot of the rating systems out there, like Nielsen, really kind of showcasing what's going on with Star Wars AHSOKA. Now, specifically, alright, we know that they have one episode left. The finale airs this Tuesday night. However, with Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy attempting to course correct Star Wars, one major development has to do with Kathleen Kennedy's response to the fans and to the AHSOKA ratings. Now, that are reportedly, of course, as a failure for Disney Star Wars, Kennedy went on to deliver the following: "My immediate response to the trades claiming that our latest installment here at Lucasfilm, such as AHSOKA, underperformed is nothing more than a complete inaccurate reading and statistic of our series that Filoni worked so hard on. You just can't imply, or you just can't trust rating systems like Nielsen and others, because it never accounts for how and why people are streaming other shows over the other. In this day and age, customers tend to leave shows on as background noise, and so this could account for why specific shows are reportedly toppling our AHSOKA series. We have no concern over this show, nor are we paying any kind of attention to trades and rating systems, attempting to give us underperforming a reputation for the Star Wars brand on television. We have also realized that some percentage of fans celebrating this report, and we feel this is just disgusting behavior on their end, but those are just a minority anyway, and we try to tune out the toxic and loud minority and value to put our energy into the ones that support our vision for the future of Star Wars." Now, guys, let me say one thing about Kathleen Kennedy before we get to the next big thing that she talks about. Now, we know that AHSOKA is, and has been, a very emotional roller coaster experience. I've said this before in the past, where it really had a lot of opportunities to explore, and it just failed to do so. Now, I've mentioned that the first 3 episodes were very slow, and look, there's a lot of nostalgia in this film, alright? Or should I say in the series, that connects to the past films. You have Anakin Skywalker coming back, you have other characters coming back into the equation as well. But what's really all the more, unveiling about Lucasfilm's attempt with the AHSOKA series is that it really seems like this story is going nowhere. There's no full-on explanation about specific key characters and what their motive really is. I feel like that there is a lot of character development that was just completely wasted. Baylan Skoll, by the way, great performance by Ray Stevenson, the late Ray Stevenson, rest in peace. His character has still never even explained why he is doing what he is doing or what his plan is in this series, and we have 1 episode left, mind you. So, look, this is why, a lot of fans out there have either tuned out or have little to no confidence in this show. The ones that are really enjoying the show, and look, if you enjoy the show, that's fine, but I feel a lot of that is driven by the nostalgia, right? the whole Hayden coming back into play as Anakin Skywalker, stuff like that, and other elements. Besides that, you have a show with slow dialogue, specific sequences that are not really fully explained, and a whole lot more on top of that. And I think that's exactly what's leading to people tuning out of the show or really giving, negative reviews on this actual series. But moving on to the next thing here, AHSOKA, she states, serves as a great way for us to break the rules of Star Wars, and we will continue to make that effort possible in our upcoming series. We were able to introduce a new galaxy, and we plan to go back there in our future stories that we will be announcing in the near future. My one message to fans is to never trust rating systems or trades, because most of that can be agenda-driven, to control a series of course, ranking systems. Nonetheless, we are deeply satisfied with the reception that we have received for the series, and we are building toward Dave Filoni's movie. I think that by series end, fans will get why we chose the ending that we did that may divide fans, but in the end, they will deeply understand it. Our goal is to shift away from Lucas's vision of Star Wars and to unburden ourselves from his way of storytelling. This is the only way to evolve the franchise. Now look, guys, I've been openly clear about this show, and I've been very honest with each and every one of you. I have been very underwhelmed with this series, and I am a Star Wars fan, and though I have been very unhappy with Disney's Star Wars for years now, I gotta say, AHSOKA really could have proven itself to be like the game-changing show that could have really turned things around and saved the franchise. And the ultimate reality here is this: there really is no saving this franchise as long as it goes into the sequel trilogy, as long as it goes into Jake Skywalker, and even if you course correct that, you still have the Kenobi series, you still have Boba Fett, you still have Mando Season 3, all of which exist and are currently canon, and it's just something that you really can't break free from. So again, I think that the rating system is very accurate. Everybody that I know in my social circle really wanted to give AHSOKA a chance. Even the casuals that I know really wanted to give AHSOKA a big chance at really changing their mind on Disney Star Wars. And it didn't. They realized that, there's a lot of examples in here where if you take away, let's say if you take away Anakin, alright, look at it this way, take away Anakin Skywalker and take away Ezra Bridger out of the core of the story. What would this actual show mean to you guys? What kind of level of excitement would it be if you took those characters out, or if you took those elements of nostalgia away? I feel like that's what's driving the series right now, is that they're relying on nostalgia, Anakin flashbacks, Anakin hologram, and Anakin Skywalker Force Ghost, stuff like that, which, by the way, we will be talking about in the coming weeks. Now, what's interesting about that is that Kennedy is getting very defensive over this. She's getting very much angered over this. She realizes that people are tuning out of this. They're going to most certainly tune out of the Acolyte series. So I would like to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.